You be going to work every day, school, work and school, and you just doing the same thing every single day. And you do so much for everybody else, but you just don't seem to be able to bridge that gap for yourself. Like, when's the last time you went and got a massage? When's the last time you bought yourself something nice? When was the last time you actually took time for you and gave yourself something? We are all born with desires for a reason. And if we're not fulfilling them, why is that? Where's the story that you tell yourself? What is that story, by the way? Have you thought about that? The reason why you keep seeing this same person, but in different people. And you know what I'm talking about. Remember that song called Fall for Your Type? Yeah, there's a reason for that. But that's something we can get into a little later. This is really about you first. Are you worthy? And if you come across things where certain things you want and you just get really anxious, that's a sense of unworthiness, right? If you're a person who looks at, let's talk about affirmations or meditations because you're trying to do a bit better in your life, you're trying to make some changes. Actually, you watching this video right now, you making a change. Good job, good job. But have you really looked at the core of that word of worthiness? Which means there shouldn't be anything that stops you because the only person that stops you is you. So getting back to that story you tell yourself, right? What is that? Are you worthy? And if you are, why aren't you doing it? Let's talk about it. Welcome to Living Intentional. I'm your host, Goddess Day, and this is a space where we talk about moving from being a background character or a supportive character to being the main creator of your life. We're the main character. When you watch movies and you're watching the main character story, yeah, that's you. Not saying that that's you, but in your life, the viewpoint, you're creating your movie. This life, this is your stage. So let's create what we want moving forward. Quick side note, I am not a professional. I only share information based upon my life journey that I've had thus far. And so if you need professional help, definitely go and seek that because you're worthy of that as well. Everyone's worthy of getting professional help that they may need. Everyone's life path is unique. And so I'm just here to give you my perspective to help you find more peace in your life journey because you're worthy of that. So, what comes to mind when you think about worthiness? I started to really think about it after I had this dream about Brandon Carter. And for anyone who don't know who Brandon Carter is, he started out as a fitness influencer and he helps give advice on making money and self-improvement. He has some pretty cool information. I love his content. So he came to my dream with a shirt off, abs out, abs popping, everything. And I'm like, I felt so overwhelmed in a sense where I felt so anxious. And when I was telling my friend about this dream, I started to think about why. Because the first thing that came to mind was like, oh my God, he's talking to me. Like, he's talking to me. But that's the thing. Why not me? Am I not worthy of someone like that to talk to me? Like, I'm a married woman, right? Of course, that's not where my focus is. But thinking about back in the days when I was single, that would not be a person I would talk to. I don't even know if I thought that I was worthy of even talking to a person like that. And it don't have to be on no relationship type of stuff. It could just be just for a normal conversation. And why act weird? You know what I mean? Like, where is that gap of feeling unworthy? I just really had to think about it. And so I started to see that, like, in a lot of places, everywhere, different aspects of my life, whether it was me going to work every day, like I explained in the beginning, like if you identify, you identify. For me, it was the idea of, man, I'd like to go here or there. Like for a long time, right? I wanted to do Comic Con or things that are like Comic Con. It don't have to be Comic Con. And I would see little advertisements for it every single year. And every single year, I would say, man, I missed out next year, next year, next year. But why next year? Why not this year? Why not see, when this is happening and just make the effort to put money aside and put that away for me? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're putting out so much and you're, especially if you're a person like how I was, where you're just an overgiver, you give, 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 give. What about you? You know what I'm saying? You have to make these changes to be happy. That goes from the people that you talk to, the things you give yourself, the things you allow yourself to enjoy without guilt. You know what I mean? So I thought about worthiness. Where is that gap and why? And how can we change that? The biggest step is taking the point of identifying what it is and making the change. Some of the things that I think of when it comes to worthiness, right? When you see a newborn baby, a puppy, a kitten, they're just so adorable, right? And they make you want to give them love. You want to think of yourself in that aspect as well. Just like a baby is worthy of love, this baby is worthy of food, this kitten is worthy of cuddles, this puppy is deserving of hugs, and you just want to take care of them. Remember that that's an aspect of you. When you came into this world as that baby, somebody fed you, somebody clothed you, somebody took care of you, made sure you were safe. And it's our job to be able to do that for ourselves because we are still deserving. We're always deserving. You are always deserving. You're deserving now. So start playing the part. Act like you've been here before. When have you stopped being worthy? Start being worthy today. And don't say, oh, I'm going to be worthy of doing these things and living this way when I'm slimmer. I'm going to be thinking and doing about whatever or booking for that trip when I get snatched. Get snatched now. Be snatched now. You don't even have to be snatched. You're worthy as you are and who you are. When you decide the changes that you need to make, then you make those changes and still know that you're worthy of getting what you want. You don't have to meet a certain criteria. When did we make what we want and need conditional? Don't we like unconditional love? So we should be giving that to ourselves. It's God given. You know what I'm saying? When it's just as God given as it is as breathing air. It's your right to use the bathroom, right? It's your right to eat, right? So it's your right to give yourself what you want and what you need. There should never be any conditions, because when there's conditions, there's limitations, and when you add limitations, how are you living a fulfilling life? Let's start reframing those things. When you think about your interview, right? Your job interview, how do you think about it? What's the story that you tell yourself when you're going in there? Are you saying that you hope to get the job or you hope you get hired? Or are you going in there like a boss saying that, okay, how are they going to fit my narrative? They need to impress me. At least that's how you should be thinking about it. You're not an imposter. You're going in there for the job that you deserve. You're going in there for the job that you know you're confident in getting. So why not bring that confidence? Of course, everyone's going to be a little anxious, right? Everyone's going to be a little, maybe even a little scared because you don't know these people. But act like you've been there. Act like you've been here. One thing I told a friend is that life is for living. So start living it. It's a celebration of you. You can celebrate yourself at all times. You don't got to celebrate only when it's your birthday. What about that desire for a better relationship, a better home, a healthier body? Again, you're worthy. This is your soul pointing you to where you need to be and where you want to be. Even with those hobbies, continue them. Anybody who clowns you for that, they're the real clown because they ain't got no dreams. Or maybe they're just not brave enough to obtain them. While living intentional, let's make 3 actions this week to make sure that we close the gap of being unworthy. First is identifying where you feel unworthy. When you have a moment of anxiousness that's unexplained, or you're just making up excuses, that's when you realize, okay, that's where you feel unworthy. And then 2 is telling the truth about it. And then once you've told the truth about it, whether you're journaling, you're writing it down, or you're just really having your inner dialogue with yourself, take that moment to be honest. Second, reaffirm. Reaffirm to what you're affirming to now. Don't be affirming to, oh, well, you can't afford, because that's not true. That's not true at all. What's true is that you can align yourself with what you're moving forward to. For example, instead of saying what you can't afford, talk about, I can achieve anything that I choose in this life. I am aligning myself with the things of which I want and need. I am able to book this vacation because I am deserving and I work hard, therefore I play hard. Start affirming to who you truly are because you're worthy. So create an affirmation of positivity on who you are and what you're doing to achieve this goal. Therefore, if it's about a job, I receive only jobs that are worthy of me, where I'm going to be happy. I am is what you're choosing. Remember that there's power in the tongue. Therefore, you're creating your story. Therefore, you are the creator of your world. I'm repeating this over and over so you can understand. Yes. Yes, I am. Stop saying no to yourself and allow yourself to have permission, because you are deserving. And 3, after you've told the truth and you reaffirm to the positive affirmation of what you look forward to doing, then you make the actionable steps, whether it's taking an item, putting it in your cart, and putting money aside each week, to maybe aligning yourself with the needs that you know that you are worthy of. So once you've made that actionable step, understand and know that this is a practice of moving you from hesitating to allowing, because that's what we're aligning ourselves to. If this video resonated with you, give me a good like and subscribe for more. My desires are valid. I am worthy of joy and respect. Let's build a life that we want, where we start affirming to who we are and what we are worthy of. Remember that you are born worthy, and we need to make those choices for ourselves of worthiness every day. And until then, stay intentional.